So, NASCAR just reintroduced dirt racing back with their race at Bristol. The first race, well, I guess they didn't really do dirt racing, and they stopped it in the 70s and they started it back up. So that really calls into question, is dirt racing better or is asphalt better?
I'm definitely going to have to go down the dirt route. I grew up dirt racing fan, but I've never seen it on NASCAR. The Bristol race was my first ever dirt race that I've seen Cup cars race on, and I loved it. And one of the main reasons I loved it was how much skill it takes to win in that car on dirt. I mean,
Absolutely.
Pavement racing or asphalt racing is almost always just, a little bit of the follow the leader, bump drafting, passes every once in a while. Dirt kept me on my toes. I felt like I was watching the whole race, seeing something different every single lap. There's not that strict bump drafting that you see on asphalt racing because the cars are half sideways going through the turns, which leaves it not up to chance and luck going through there. You have to be the best driver to win that race.
Well, I am going to say something a little bit different. There's two different things when it comes to asphalt. So you got old asphalt and young asphalt. So old asphalt is, well, I guess young asphalt is what we see when you have Daytona, Talladega, Darlington, all those long races where you're going to get a lot of speed, which is what racing is about. It's about speed. So you're going to see them go 200 miles an hour. But then you go to the tracks like Atlanta where you have the old asphalt where it's all grooves. You've got multiple lines that drivers can run, rubbers everywhere all over the track, and that makes for better racing because you've got multiple grooves that they can go on. You see a lot more passing, a lot more action, and you also have short tracks that are introduced, such as Bristol when they do the asphalt on Bristol, Richmond, Martinsville, all those. You're going sideways in the turn. I mean, those banks are ridiculous, especially like at Bristol. You're like sideways basically. So, it's kind of a which one is better because it's more, you've got some more grooves and more passing that goes on in asphalt. When you get to the 1.5 miles, yes, you do get kind of the person in front and they kind of just go around and win the race. But when you get to short tracks or, super speedways, you've got a lot more.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think the smaller tracks in NASCAR, asphalt or dirt, are more entertaining. I just think, the dirt, it's so much fun. It's high-speed action, something different every single lap. And plus, it takes an entirely different type of setup to race on dirt because the track is changing almost every lap. Different weather, wind, humidity, rain predictions, everything affects what you're going to do to your race car to put on the track.
Yeah, I will say one thing that I do like about asphalt is it is a little bit safer. We have seen with NASCAR, especially, there's been a couple fatalities, the most famous being Dale Sr. back in 2001. And even though they've had so many different safety improvements, including the neck brace, the roll cage, everything that they do, I think the staying with the asphalt and taking away that kind of dirt aspect has allowed them to be a lot more safer, especially when they are going 200 miles an hour. I mean, you're going faster on asphalt, and that's just the plain and simple fact is you're going a lot faster on asphalt, you're doing a lot more racing, your reaction time has got to be better, and you've got to be a better skill driver, I guess. And so I think with safety, especially because you don't want any more fatalities in the sport, you have to stick with asphalt.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, these drivers know every single time they get into a race car, they're risking their life. That's stated. That's a given. I mean, it's dangerous sport. All racing is dangerous. But, on dirt, they're going slower. And so I just think, safety is important, yes, but the dirt, I feel like, might be safer in the long run than the asphalt because of how much slower they're going. They're not going 200 miles an hour on a high-bank Daytona track at Bristol, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that is true. But I will say that they did have a problem back in the Bristol, when they did Bristol Dirt, the trucks. They had to stop the race because they couldn't see anything. Their windshields were completely covered in mud. They had absolutely no way of seeing anything going on in the track in front of them. And it was an extremely dangerous situation. They eventually stopped the race.
Yeah. So. I mean, obviously, it's nice to see NASCAR going in a different direction, bringing in new fans. So I'm excited to see what will happen in the future. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.